Welcome back to my channel. My name is Johanna, and for those of you who are new here, welcome. And for those of you who are returning, welcome back. Here on my channel, I do planner and planner related videos, DIY tutorials, journal videos, and the occasional new release video of items that I've listed to my Etsy shop. And if that is of interest to you, please consider subscribing to my channel. And if you hit that little notification bell, you'll always be notified of when I load a new video. Commenting, liking, and sharing this on your favorite platform does help my channel grow and would be truly appreciated. Okay, so let me start this with saying this is probably going to be a long video. So just be aware of that. Grab a hot beverage or a cold one, get a snack, and just kind of settle in with me. Now, if you've been here, you know that this is my journal that I do, and my challenge for myself is to journal every day for 2020. And so far, I've done pretty well on that. And so for this first section, I actually did redo the cover, and basically that's just the back of the one that I had done before. Friday night, I was just feeling really creative and wanted to play, and I didn't film it, so I basically just sort of collaged here. And then this middle tab, I did the same thing where I flipped it over and I did a collage here. And then this last tab, again, flipped over and then did some collaging here. Now this first section you guys are familiar with, because this is where I have been doing my daily journaling, and then every week I do a journal video with you guys. Now I will be doing a journal video with you guys this week, but it's going to be a reading journal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up my reading journal section, which is this middle section here, and then I'm also going to show you the buddy read section that I worked on also Friday night. Now I had started actually doing a reading journal in a couple of different systems. The first one was in a B6 traveler's notebook. Another one was in like a personal sized, and honestly, if it's not on discs, it's just not going to work for me. So I thought, well, I can put it in here, and it just makes it easier because eventually I can just swap out and put this on either classic or expander rings, or if I need to, I can take it apart, keep my journal in one section and keep these other things in another section. But I actually like having it all here, and I did count, and it took me 4 pages with the way that I journal to get through the month of February. So I'm thinking on a monthly basis, again, depending on how much I'm writing, it would take maybe 4 or 5 pages. So I might be able to just fill this whole first section just easily enough for the year, and then also have some time to do my reading journal. And really, for me, the whole reading journal aspect it's part of my self-care routine for this year. I just really want to take some time and unwind, and at least in this section to start with, it's more of a rereading journal, because the first books that I'm going to be working on are the Harry Potter books, and then the next set of books I'm going to be working on is a David Eddings series. There's actually 2 of them that I read when I was in middle school, like, 40 years ago? I'm going to be 48, so whatever that math is. But I kind of like the idea of having a place to do some doodling and some reading type journaling. But when I looked on YouTube, and I've been watching videos, I watch videos all the time, a lot of the reading journals that I saw were more geared towards booktube channels, where they just do a large volume of reading, and then also more bullet journal type where there's lots of trackers, there's monthly spreads, weekly spreads, TBRs, which are to be reads, hauls, all sorts of things revolving around having a channel devoted to reading. I don't have a channel devoted to reading, and really mine is just for my own pleasure and just to unwind. So I thought I'd show you guys how I'm going to set up my reading journal, just in case you want sort of that middle ground where you want to do journaling, you want to write about your thoughts, specifically about whatever it is you're reading. You might want to add some elements of bullet journaling where there's some slight tracking, and I'll show you that in just a minute. But really, you're just focusing on the books. You're not doing all of that other stuff. If you are interested in looking at someone who does that, check out my friend Andy from It's a Reading Thing. She's actually the person that I do my buddy reads with, and she does her Skinny Classic for her social media and her blog. And because she's a booktube channel, you'll see all sorts of different ideas on spreads regarding things to do with reading. This one, it won't be anything like that. But I really loved how the dividers came out. I had a lot of fun playing with just scrapbook paper and washi and my pens. And then what I'm totally stoked on how it came out is this is the buddy read that I set up this past Friday. Now, when I do buddy reading with Andy, and let me get that. I had gotten this for Christmas as a Christmas gift, and you guys know me, I don't use this size, which is equivalent to a mini, or very close to. I certainly don't use the coil system, but I love Harry Potter, and I got quite a bit of Harry Potter things for Christmas, and I didn't want this to go to waste. I didn't want to take it apart and put it on discs. And so when I'm doing my buddy read with her, what I do is I've just basically turned this into a notebook. So for the one that we did for this past February, I wrote down in this monthly section what the chapter divisions were, just so that we could talk about it on a weekly basis. And then I just used this as a notebook. So basically for every week, I would just write down my notes so that I can go ahead and email her. And so I don't know if this is revolutionary to you, but to me, it's paper. And I write it like this, so the coil is at the top, it doesn't get in my way, and then it just keeps it handy for me. I actually like that it's not on the discs because the paper won't come out, and I can just keep a running track. And at the end of the year, or whenever I'm finished with all of the pages, then I'll probably repurpose the dividers because they are really cute. They're Harry Potter themed, and I'm gonna get the value out of this little book. However, in this section, this isn't so much of my notes on it, because that's what this is for. This is just my overall feeling of the book. And I don't have access to a printer that has color printing. I'm still looking to get me one of those little printers that you can print just right off your phone. So what I did instead was I just drew the book covers. And so for Reverie, that's what I based it off of. I don't know if you can see that. I mean, it's not the perfect interpretation, but I think it's good enough. And then for Fireborn, that was the first book we read together. That's my interpretation. Again, it's not an exact replica, but it gives me that feeling, and I'm so stoked about how that looked. So much so that when I get into the reading section, I'm going to try to recreate this. Now, I don't do anything in pencil, so we're going to do this together, but I like the aspect of play. Really, that's what this whole thing is for. It's about unwinding, it's about playing, it's about enjoying the process. And I kind of wanted to bring you guys along on the journey with me. So what we're gonna do is, if I can, like for this first idea that I have here, I think I can talk through it with you guys. But when I get into doing the cover art here, and then when I get into this page, which actually, yeah, I'm going to take this one because I do want it on something that has some color on it. Then I'll probably just turn on some music for you guys, just because I can't talk and do that kind of stuff and be functional. Even that was really hard for me to do. All right, so for this first one, like I said, I'm not going to be doing a ton of trackers, but I do want to do one of those bookshelves. I think they're really cute, and they're actually fairly simple to do. And we're just going to make some shelves. We're not even going to draw the whole bookshelf. We're just going to make some shelves. We're going to do it freehand. Oh no, let's be smart. Let's start at the top and work our way down. And nothing is pre-drawn out, because why would it be? Although maybe we can get some similar spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And for this, I'm just using the brush pen to give me that thickness. Now, when I've seen most people, at least here on YouTube, do this, they are doing it for a year. I'm basically just doing it to have a bookshelf. So if it takes me a year, if it takes me 2 years or 8 years, because honestly, if I can get 12 books read this year, I'm going to consider that a win. I'm not a booktube channel. Booktube channels seem to have a lot bigger goals when it comes to their books, but for me, I mean, I'm just trying to enjoy the process. I'm not trying to do all of that. And then for the books, let's see. Just going to use the other side, and what this is a Memento pen. It's similar to a Tombow. I do have a Tombow black pen. Oh, did this go on the back? I should have checked that first. But I can't find it. Right before I started filming, I actually tipped over all of my pens, and so now they're just sitting on my bed because I couldn't deal with that. But to make a bookshelf, we've got the shelves there, and well, sorry, I don't mean to be scatterbrained. It's actually no reason why we can't close this off. Now, it's a bit janky of a bookshelf, but that's okay. Now, you can, of course, use a ruler and do that, but, you know, why? So let's cover that before I get black ink all over the place. And then to do books, it's actually really easy. You just sort of make curved rectangles, and you can make them taller, you can make them thinner, you can have them on their side as a bookshelf would be. Size is up to you. And you just put stacks of books. And the way people that I've seen on both Pinterest, YouTube, and Instagram, if I'm honest, is some of them write in on the spines themselves, some of them write on the spines and color it in, some of them write on the spines and they do like color coding if it was a digital book or if it wasn't. And really it's up to you on how you want to do it. I believe in the November 2019 digital detox, it might have had like a really large version of just books stacked on each other, and so you certainly could do that if you had that, but I think this is just easy enough to recreate. I'm not counting the amount of books. Again, if for any reason I run out of book spines to write in, then I'm just going to do another page. Again, this is going to be really just a no fuss, no muss. It'll look interesting once I have spines filled in, and that's really you know, what I'm after. And so I'm just going to continue to do this. And then when I'm done, I'll bring you guys back. All right, so this is my books read, and I actually didn't leave any space on here of what this is. I suppose I could add this up here. And that's done. Now I actually finished a book. I finished Reverie with my friend Andy. I also finished that lettering book, or at least reading through it, from Cindy. And I'm actually nearly done with this. This is a reread, so I've read this several times. And I'm just going to fill in book spines. I'm actually not going to color it. I'm not going to do a reading. I want to see the book spines. This will just be a bookshelf. And again, I don't even know how many books are on here. But yeah, this is definitely going to take me some time. So that's the first thing done, and really that's probably the only tracker that I'm going to do in here. The number of pages I do, books hauled, I mean, I'm not doing any of that. In my Skinny Classic, I also have a list of this, and that's enough for me. And so for this one, this is the one that we're going, at least I'm going to attempt to do the cover art of here, because I really like how this came out. Although I think I will try to do this on a larger scale and then do chapter 1 here and basically devote a page per chapter. At least that's how I'm envisioning it. Yeah, so for this part, I'm definitely going to set it to music. You can see there's nothing on this page. I'm just gonna go for it. Now, I don't know that this is waterproof. It's water-based, and so I don't want to use that just in case I'm going to color in some markers. So I'm going to use my Micron 05 to do the drawing in, and then I might actually bust out some crayons to do some coloring. So let me put this here. Make sure it's the right side. Yeah, because that's not how bookshelves work. All right, guys, I'm a little nervous about this, so wish me luck. When I first started drawing Harry, I'm like, oh, I got that all wrong. But I mean, I'm not an artist. I don't ever pretend to be one, but I think you get the gist of the book from this, and really that's what I was going for. So to be perfectly honest, even though scale and perspective is just all wrong, I'm thinking you're getting the vibe of the book. And I remember why I don't like using crayons, because once it gets a dull edge, I don't like using them anymore. If you want some vibrancy, you really need to just color that in. But I mean, again, I'm quite stoked, even though I think I broke his neck. You know, whatever. Sorry, Harry, you're magical. I'm pretty sure you can get someone to fix that. Hi guys, welcome back. I had to take a short break because of my phone. So I wanted to finish up this journal post with the actual chapter 1 journaling. And I do have some ideas on how I want to do this. I think this bottom section, I want to do some journaling on my thoughts about chapter 1. And then this top section, there's some things I want to do. And I got this picture frame idea from a channel that I was watching earlier this week called Ashley Reads Fairy Tales, and so I'll link her channel below. She was doing this in her setup, and I thought that was really cute, and so that's what I'm going to be doing now. Again, I am probably going to just fast forward through this. Like I said, it's going to be a long video, but I'm hoping you guys enjoy it. I'm certainly enjoying the process, even though it's taking 20 million years. Okay, so let me turn on some music. back, guys. So this is how, at least I did chapter 1. I like the picture frame idea to put some of my favorite quotes. I actually had forgotten that I wanted to put something on here that said chapter 1, so I thought that worked just as well. I probably will continue that, and I'll probably continue that on all of the pages where I will do some of my favorite quotes from the chapter. I'll do some standout words. I might add some more like Dumbledore and Hagrid and McGonagall on here, but I think for right now that really works. Muggles, the very first time it appears in print is on page 5. I think lemon drops factor in later in one of the other books. Not like huge, but it's mentioned. I usually like to work off of a picture, but this I kind of did, but that's McGonagall looking at the map, and the first time she's mentioned sort of is on page 2, and I really like how this is coming out. When I did go on that little bit of a break between the parts of this video, I did fill in the books. Again, I'm gonna choose randomly. It's gonna get filled when it's going to get filled, and I'm not gonna do any coloring because I like the coloring on the page. And even this, I'll probably keep, other than the cover art, I'll probably keep all of my chapter pages in the black, the gray, and in the red fountain pen, although I do need to fill that up again. And then I'm just going to devote a page per, and once the other pages are dry, then I'll insert that here. So I'm really interested to know what you guys thought of this video. It's definitely long, and I will try to fast forward as much as I can. I do like for people to see how long something like this can take, but also I'm trying to be very cognizant of your time, so there is that bit of a struggle. I really enjoyed it, and going forward I won't have to do as much or explain as much because I won't need to do this again, and it won't be until we finish the 17 chapters of this that I'll even start on the next book. So really, from week to week, this could be a really short video, probably within 10 or 15 minutes. And then, of course, I am still going to keep up with my journaling in this section because these two are not related. They just happen to be in the same spot. I just think it makes the most sense that way. But I'd love to know what your guys' feedback is on this. I love it. Not gonna lie, I really, really love it. All right, guys, from Bucky and I, that's it. And as always, aloha.